Performed at many Dodo events. She's a sometime organiser of the Toriano readings, which have been going for even longer, I think, than Dodo Modern poets. She's a regularly published poet, The Morning Star, The Spectator, The Interpreter's House, and just some of the publications she's appeared in. If you're free next Saturday, you can find Lisa reading at 12:30 at the Kentish Town Poetry Festival, Busby Place. That's the 28th of June. So please welcome back to Dodo. We're very delighted to have Lisa Kelly.
Thank you, Patrick. It's great to be back here reading the Dodo and hearing all the great Dodo people I haven't heard before. The first set I'm going to be reading is going to be political in nature. We've had a lot of politics, and here's my first one. Just a few of the characters in here. It's in George Bush's voice, and I'm not going to put on an American accent, so don't worry about that, but I don't know if you remember, but he was very keen on his dogs. He had a couple of dogs, Barney, first dog, and Miss Beasley, and Coney makes an appearance as well. That was Putin's dog. They had a bit of a sort of like a man-off about who had the biggest, strongest dog. So it's in Bush's voice, and some of the lines in here are actually what he said in unguarded moments when a microphone was left on in conversation with Blair. I think that's enough of an intro. It's probably longer than the poem, but Iraq. In memory of Barney, the 30th of September 2000 to the 1st of February 2013, and Miss Beasley, 28th of October 2004 to the 17th of May 2014. I wish I could have been there when the golden statue fell. Walking with Barney somewhere in Scotland was always a dream. Team is what we were. Yo, Blair, what are you doing? What they need to do is get Syria to get Hezbollah to stop doing this shit on my shoe. I blame Coney. He's bigger, faster, tougher, meaner. I mean, what did I mean? Oh, Barney. He never had the operation shock, and oh, he was so cute. But that little Scottish terrier could be a terror. It was a war on terror. Wars on terror are justified. I will not withdraw, even if Laura and Barney are the only ones. Supporting me was his only option. Categorically, he was no lap. Dogs like Barney should be honoured. And Miss Beasley. Don't forget, mission accomplished. Barney and Miss Beasley's bronze statues in my library remind us of what befell. Yo, Chilcott, do you get the gist of our conversation? In pursuit of peace, we were dogged. Thank you. And the next poem is a little bit more personal but political, because it's what do you do when you see a situation and you feel you should do something but you don't, which is what happened to me. Coming back rather late one night, getting the last tube, a little bit worse for wear. Wavering. Winding back from the last tube, I see a girl on the curb in open-toed heels, poured into an off-white dress in this cold, leaning into an open window, drunk, pouring her heart out. And as I pass, I hear the policeman, from the squat comfort of the driver's seat, shout, "Carry on like that, you'll be in the back of my van," echoing cadences of that archetypal threat. Carry on like that, you'll feel the back of my hand. So I stop, turn, and think whether I should intervene. Go up to her, try and calm her down, ask the policeman to let it go, lay off. But instead, I stand there, half tipsy from the half bottle of wine, a bystander, wobbling and waiting, and in that wait, that pause, the girl is joined by another daringly dressed girl who screams at the policeman. Suddenly there are police cars pulling up, sirens screaming, policemen spilling out, dressed in thick uniforms, not stumbling, just purposefully herding these errant girls into the back of the van, which speeds off, and the policemen get back in their cars, slam doors, follow, and there is nothing much more to do except go home. Wonder what would have happened if I'd protested soberly, directly. And as we all know, hospitals are under a lot of pressure at the moment, and if anybody has ever been in A&E, they will identify with this. A&E. If this waiting is hellish, then the sick are limbo dancing. Only those who are bent double or on the floor, puddles of their former selves, have a hope of getting under the bar, progressively lowered as more contorted squeeze through. If the woman in a white coat is God, then the boy with bleeding hands has stigmata, the man with closed eyes on the stretcher is Lazarus, and the toddler pushing donkey on wheels up and down is one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. If this is a place of worship, then the grey kidney-shaped receptacles are donation plates passed around for contributions from the faithful, hopeful they are worthy of safing. If this is where you think the wait will end within 4 hours, then think again. The end is always waiting. That was cheerful, wasn't it? Yeah. Another cheerful one. The play Medea by Euripides, about Medea. She kills her children as an act of betrayal committed by her husband Jason, and it's revenge for him doing that act of betrayal. So I was thinking that a lot of these Greek myths, they actually, we see repercussions in modern life, and there's lots of stories, well, not lots of stories fortunately, but stories do come up about parents killing their children as a form of revenge, and this was one particular one. A woman called Stacey Newkirk Smalls. She murdered her 2 children in May 2012, and she was sentenced to life in prison without parole on 6th of January 2014. Now, I was reading this story, and it was on the Daily Mail website, and if you have a look at a lot of stories, there are sort of comments in the online section. So these are comments from the online sections that readers commenting, and they form the chorus, and I've done it traditionally with, like the argument the chorus does with the strophe and the anti-strophe. Medea. Hope she was worth it. Spray painted on the husband's car. This is why I killed your kids. Note with details of alleged affair left by the 2 children's bodies. Chorus of online comments. Strophe 1. This animal was angry, bitter and hateful. She used her children to hurt her husband in the worst way she could. Children are just toys, objects and pawns treated well or badly at whim. Anti-strophe 1. Remember, when people are unravelling, they may not see the truth. To kill her baby, she was disturbed enough. She was snapping and breaking. Strophe 2. She killed 2 kids. What kind of mother was this? Too bad she wasn't the one who died. This is another that should rot in hell. Anti-strophe 2. The horror, the absolute horror, will haunt many with its questions. Even if she must pay a price for these crimes, I pray she is healed past this tragedy. Strophe 3. She killed 2 kids to make her husband upset. Some people's thinking is screwed up. All women are ticking time bombs. Anti-strophe 3. She has to live with this on her conscience, and so does her husband. She was a ticking time bomb, but together they lit the fuse. Thank you. I'd just like to finish this first set with a poem that came about when I went on a cycling trip in France in a place called Asserac, a very small town there. And I came across a pond, and around the pond were erected these photos of local workers, and huge photos, really beautifully done. They weren't adverts, it was just sort of celebrating who they were. And I thought that was a nice way of reclaiming the word celebrity, because you know what it's like over here with Big Brother and Britain's Got Talent and all the rest of it. So I thought these were real celebrities, and yeah, I just said their name and had a picture of them doing what they do best, their occupations. Valerie Toyer, coiffeurs. A big silver hoop dangles from one ear. Her t-shirt says, "Come from the moon." To the man in the chair, steel blades grazing his neck hair, she is a luminary, a goddess in her sphere. Claude Lelec, Paludier. He is fierce in the face of the lens, caught with a stash of the finest white substance, in a basket by his bare feet, harvested salt. Behind him, his wooden hut is a treasure vault, for shovel, bucket, rake, the long-handled sort. Chantal Cabot, boulangère. From the interior of her stretch white van, she smiles at her queuing fans. Let them eat bread baked on site and delivered first thing for their delight. Every inch a diva after being up half the night. Oliver Berthaud, Charpentier. Not a cigar rolled for a star clamped in his teeth, but a pencil. He will use it to mark his place, of which he is sure. But now his focus is on the lathe and the wood. His work will bequeath craftsmanship for generations, a kind of belief. Jean-Marc Lucam Plombier. His rolled up sleeves, deadpan stares straight to camera as if he means business. He does. A hero, a leading man who prevents floods, makes a plan. A man of few words whose catchphrase is, "I can." Patrick Lecarfe Pompier. His uniform is not a costume. It is no act entering a burning building as the camera rolls. Saving lives is not a drama, but matter of fact, what he does for his community, backed by a crew of solidarity, a fireproof pact. Maxime Pirlo, monteur de kitesurf. This is his beach, his turf, his half man, half Poseidon, half in his wetsuit, half out, king of the surf. He harnesses the wind, cuts up the sky, can morph from man to immortal. The title of his biopic, Sail Forth. Thank you.
After that wonderful set by Lisa, I think we're free now to sail forth into the interval. So we're going to take a 20-minute break. As I say, the bookstall is open, the bar is open. You might want to get a breath of fresh air. So we'll see you in 20 minutes. Thank you.